Hello, everyone, and welcome to my queendom. I'm your host, Queen Midas. I know I've been away a long time. Uh, Sorry for the sweater and get up, but it was hell hot yesterday, and I was coming out of my clothes. And today it's cold, and I'm wearing sweaters, and I'm not turning that heater on. You can forget it. It's over for the season, and if it's cold, we'll just wrap up in blankets and put on sweaters because I'm not doing it. I don't know what Texas is doing, but it feels like it's trying to kill us all. So, how's everybody doing? There's so much going on in the news. I mean, oh my God, this last few episodes of The White House Apprentice is like crazy. The Trumpkin is a mess, and the world is in a tizzy. Back when he became president for the second term, right off the jump, he went into that whole. Hold on, y'all. Let me shut this window a little bit so I can get this glare off of me. Sorry. Maybe that's a little better. Okay, so he went on about how diversity, and my hair's a mess because I've been wearing my hoodie, so I'm sorry. He went on about how diversity, equity, and inclusivity are bad. They're bad. They're evil, bad. They're horrible things. They'll make people do awful stuff like care. And then he went on to say how being woke was awful. I mean, we all should be asleep right now and just be zombified out, maybe on some kind of ridiculous pharmaceutical. So I don't understand what's going on with these colonizers. They are really, really batshit crazy and coming out saying the most outrageous things, and they always have. And their psychosis is noted, and we know what type of monsters they truly are. But just to hear them say it is a different thing. They're thinking it, and you know how they feel about everyone. But then when they come out and open their mouths and actually say it, it's something else. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, when he started this nonsense, this raving, and got everybody all up in arms, we had to have seen this coming. I mean, we talked about it here on my channel lots. We talked about how, they were rolling back all of the amendments. They're going to roll back everything that had to do with civil rights and equality for women and for people of color. So it's not a surprise, and it's nothing new. You just need to focus and remember that, like they like to say, because they talked about how the voting rights was an experiment. They didn't intend for it to continue on and to become real law or to actually be a part of society. It was an experiment. They wanted to see how it would go, if they would like it, if it would be too uncomfortable, if the water was a little too hot, And they have decided that they don't like it. The experiment is over. They have all of the data that they need, and they've decided to close it out. Everything that has to do with women's rights and the rights of people of color, people that are not melanin deficient, people who have a protective chemical in their bodies. We were all just part of their experiment, and they're going to roll all of that back. They want this to be white America, plain and simple. They need to quit dancing around it. They need to quit trying to skirt and try to pretend like that's not what they're saying. They want white America. They want it back like it was in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, their glory days. They talk about those are the best times of their life. That's because we were oppressed and we had nothing and they had everything. They are unwilling to share. There's so many things intellectually, physically, and emotionally wrong with these people that they cannot be fixed. And unfortunately, no one has the balls to eradicate them. They're a cancer on the earth. They are a parasite that needs to be purged. But they are here, and they have dug their claws and their jaws into every aspect of society. And it's going to be extremely hard to dig them out and be rid of them. People are complaining about all of these changes like they didn't see it happening. And it's been very, very clear for a very long time what their, idea was. I mean, they told us. They wrote Project 2025 and put it in front of us and said, here, read. And people ignored it. They were too busy trying to figure out what they were going to buy next, or how they were going to impress somebody that they don't know. So, I mean, what do you expect from what's coming? You let these people continue to mistreat, everyone, and get away with the horrors that they've impressed upon the world. And then you are surprised when they turn around and they do crazy shit like they're doing now. Unless we can get rid of and start a new government with new laws and new constitutions and all that stuff, everything is going to get worse, because they're done with the experiment. They've shut it down, and they're tired of it, and they don't want to be bothered, and they want things to go back to the way that they remember them being. And that's exactly what they're going to do. If you don't do something, or if we don't do something to stop them now, it's just going to continue on that way, and a big corporation and government, all of them are working together, and they're doing that to keep us where we are and to push us into an even smaller space. Remember, I've heard too many people that don't know anything about the New Deal and never heard of it before in their lives. And suddenly it's the topic of conversation. Well, when FDR created the New Deal, he wasn't counting on people of color to have rights. He wasn't counting on them to be able to take advantage of the laws. The New Deal, none of that was created for people of color. Welfare was not created for us. It was for other whites. The social safety net that we call Social Security, it wasn't written with us intended. That's why it's insolvent. It was perfectly fine until Black Americans got rights and were afforded legal justice. And then all of a sudden, Social Security was insolvent because it wasn't meant for us. We weren't supposed to get paid. That's why tipping was created. Tipping was a way to allow a white person to say, oh, you're a good nigger, so here's a couple pennies for you, but it wasn't a pay. No one, the employers did not pay them. They made them work for free. And that's why tipping is what it is today. And if you want to really get ugly with it, let's just talk about healthcare. When they sat down and wrote in the New Deal, they made sure that healthcare could never, ever be included in that, because there was absolutely no way that they were going to allow people of color to be allowed to have health insurance. They were of the mind that if they just gave us a decade or two, we would all die off because we wouldn't have the ability to go to the doctor. That didn't work. But they still get to control our population by having these issues where we don't get good health care. I mean, Black Americans have been stuck at 12% part of the population for the better part of almost 100 years. So we have not moved. We have stayed at a constant, and that's because they have decided what the number is that they wanted it to be, and they make sure to eradicate us to make sure that number stays where it is. Well, hi, honey. Go back with mommy, please. Go back with mommy. Thank you. I'm having a visitor. Oh, my apologies. But like I'm saying, none of this was for us. And so, honey, I'm trying to do a video. Thank you. So, none of these, I lost my train of thought for a second, sweet little baby. there's no way that they're going to let this go. They didn't want us around. They want us around, but they don't want us around. And the things that they're doing are showing it. Their attitudes are showing it. People say, "Oh, well, racism isn't as bad as it was back in the day," but yes, it is. And it's the same people, and it's their same children, and it's their same grandchildren. Those people have no love for you, and those people will hang you up from a tree and make you strange fruit. Is the minute they can to protect themselves and to keep what they have, and not protect themselves in a way that where we would harm them, but in a way that makes them feel comfortable so that they can stay on top. But back to health insurance. Back to health insurance, yeah, they didn't want us to have insurance or have access to medical care. And it was done by design. So don't think for 1 minute that you're ever going to get any of these things. Not while this establishment stands. As long as the U.S. government stands, as long as that flag flies, and as long as that Constitution is still the face of this country, those things are never going to happen. Changes are never going to happen as long as this goes on. So I want you all to really think about that and focus on what you're going to do. I mean, I feel bad enough that I brought children into this world, knowing that I'm not the greatest quality, I'm not the greatest model for a mommy, but I love them more than anything. But this world just doesn't deserve them, but they're here. So please, ladies, I know that it's hard because we don't have the proper health care to protect ourselves. These males certainly don't care about their protection or their health or ours. And they don't care what happens to you as long as they get what they want. So flat out, don't have no kids. This country doesn't deserve your children. These males don't deserve to be the fathers of your children. You need to find a healthy and safe way to protect yourselves. And I know it's hard because, we all want to have a little fun. We all want to enjoy ourselves. We all have urges. But you're going to have to really, really try and work on going without these basic things, because it's going to be to your detriment. It's going to be to the danger of your health, the health and life of your child, your financial existence. They're out here to destroy you economically, and that's all it's ever been about, is keeping you down. And you're going to have to find ways to protect yourself from these things happening. The world just is not, or this country, maybe the rest of the world is different, but this country is not right, and they don't deserve our children. They don't deserve our legacy. They don't deserve anything from us because they haven't given us anything of import. So remember that, and try to think critically. Be rational and sound in your thoughts and ideas. Don't be half-baked, and don't run around thinking that it's okay, everything's going to work out. Oh, not all of them are bad. Oh, that's not what they mean. Yeah, that's exactly what they mean. They want to put your black ass in the grave or in chains. And that's the way it's always going to be as long as those particular people are the ones in power and the ones running the show. So go back and look at history. Go back and see everything that's actually happening now and has happened in the past, and adjust and make adjustments in your life so that you can get through and manage these particular situations. It's bad enough that people don't have jobs, and the jobs that are there are going away, and money isn't what it was. Everything's so expensive. You can barely afford to feed yourself, let alone buy a car or a house, or even think of retiring one day with a pension, because that's just not how things are are designed now. Things are different. And it really is every man for himself. And most people are impoverished. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. I wish this video would have went a little bit smoother, but I had some interruptions. I thank you. I'm going to be doing another video on some financial stuff later on. So don't flip out if you see me in my warm blue sweater again, because it's cold. Thank you, and all have a great day. Remember, get with people that you care about, people that you love and respect and appreciate, and talk about these things. Have a support base however you can get it, and talk about these important issues and work out these things and find solutions to your everyday problems. Bye.